Welcome back to Green Disruptors, the podcast where we spotlight innovators reshaping the energy landscape and proving sustainability can scale. Today, I'm joined by Owen, founder and CEO of Shine, a specialized solar company laser-focused on decarbonizing the multifamily housing industry. Owen's journey is anything but linear, from finance to teaching rock climbing in Yosemite to working as an energy manager for Fortune 100 companies. He eventually left corporate life to solve one of the toughest problems in renewable energy. How do you bring on-site solar to apartments in a way that benefits both owners and tenants? Shine has developed the software and systems to make that possible, and they're already seeing major traction, millions in revenue today, and massive potential ahead. We dive into the business model, the market dynamics, the sustainability impact, and the industry headwinds and tailwinds shaping the future of on-site solar. Let's get into it. Hello, Owen. Welcome to Green Disruptors.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, my pleasure. Your hat and your artwork make me want to not be wearing my formal-looking suit jacket anymore. So you look much cooler than I do.
I spent a lot of time in corporate America, and one of the perks of running your own business is being able to wear whatever you want and have what kind of artwork you want. So it's it's a nice bonus.
It is. And I'm that weirdo that never was in corporate, and I'm like, I want to dress important. You're like, it's overrated. Give it up.
Yeah, but you're dressing corporate because it's your choice, not because you
That's
have
true.
to. So it's different.
It is. That autonomy is very different.
Yeah.
So anyway, we were going to maybe record this in person because we were very close proximity-wise, but it was too hard and we didn't want to drive. So here we are online, but I'm happy we're doing this.
Complain about how everything has gone virtual and we need that human interaction, and we had the opportunity.
And then we're like, how many? No.
2 hours of driving? Let's just keep it virtual.
Yes. Well, anyway, thanks for being here. So tell us about you, and then tell us about Get Shine. Or do you call it Shine? Because your hat
Just
says
Shine.
just Shine.
Yeah, unfortunately,
Okay.
Shine.com was not available, so we had to get Shine.
Okay. Well, go on. Tell me
about
more.
me. Well, let's see.
Yes.
Where do I start? I developed my interest in the outdoors, I think, by spending a lot of time outdoors as a kid. So I think that's kind of a common thing among, environmentalists. I went to school for finance. I got a scholarship to play soccer at a business school on the East Coast. So I played soccer there. I got a degree in finance. I thought I was going to be an investment banker. Then I got a job teaching rock climbing in Yosemite in between summers. Yeah, it was awesome. We could talk about that if you want to.
That's so cool.
It was really awesome. I did it for, I think, 8 summers.
Wow.
So I was hooked, yeah. But that sort of shifted my perspective, really, of like, what is life? And what, am I supposed to just get a job that I'm going to hate because I'm going to make a bunch of money? Or should I have sort of this bigger goal of trying to align my profession with my passion? And so I had that idea early on. It took me a little while to get there, but I worked in finance for a while. I realized I hated it. I went to grad school for environmental science. My idea was to sort of combine financial acumen with the ability to have some sort of environmental impact. It launched me into a career as an energy manager for a Fortune 100 company. It was awesome, but I hated the corporate environment. People tell me what to do. So I quit that job and started a bunch of companies kind of since 2015. And I've just been on the entrepreneurial journey for the last 10 years, I guess.
So back to Yosemite and rock climbing. It sounds like you just had I'm just going to talk about that for the rest of the time.
Let's talk about that for a half hour.
But no, you had like a full John Muir experience, like being in Yosemite.
No, it was
especially.
insane. So I went out there with my best friend. We met in kindergarten. We're still friends to this day. We would work a week and then we'd have a week off where we just get to do whatever we want. And it was interesting because we year after year, we like slowly started to dial in our systems. So at first we went out with a car and we were spending a bunch of money driving all over the place. And then like by year 5, we were only traveling by bicycle. We were hitchhiking everywhere. We were sleeping in a cave to save money. I mean, it was like the wildest childhood summer that you could imagine. My parents were totally okay with it. They were just like, yeah, you're 18. Just go off to California, fly across the country, and good luck. And now I have two little girls, and I'm
You're
like, the
like,
thought of
oh,
doing that, yeah, I'm like, man, that's crazy.
it is crazy. Yeah, but I mean, so impactful. And obviously, yeah, like you said, just kind of developing that sense of like what's real life,
Yeah.
and what's important. So, okay. So fast forward back, 2015, starting that entrepreneurial journey. What was how long has Shine been going? And tell me like what you guys do.
Yeah, so Shine itself has been around since November 2023, but the purpose of Shine is to decarbonize the multifamily industry via onsite solar. And we've been doing that since 2018. It's just taken different forms. The first way that we were doing it is I partnered up with some people and we were buying apartment buildings ourselves to decarbonize them with onsite solar. So we bought about $75 million worth of apartments throughout the Midwest, installed on-site solar on all of them. The idea was like if a small group of people can sort of show that
Be the
on-site
early
solar is
adopters.
accretive, yeah, then we can get the rest of the industry to adopt it. But we learned sort of why the industry was not adopting it, and it's because solar is really hard for multifamily. It is super complicated. It's not the same state to state. You need software to solve certain challenges.
Yeah.
And so three decided operating multifamily is extremely challenging. We're really good at solar and we understand multifamily now because we bought so much of it. So let's take what we've learned and just basically create a niche solar contractor for the multifamily industry. And that
that's
was sort of the
all you
origination of
do.
Shine. That's
Yeah.
all we do.
Yeah. Oh, so, I mean, I think people can sort of grasp the complexity because, the property manager and the landlords, they are the ones who have to get the initial investment, but the tenants are paying for the power. So, what are some of the solutions you've been able to come up with just to make it make economic sense for everybody involved?
Yeah, so we like to call that the split incentive problem. So the fact that owners have to pay for solar and tenants benefit from the electricity
Yeah.
savings. And since the multifamily industry is very profit driven, that's why owners don't adopt solar. I can't blame them. I would not pay for solar if I did not benefit. To solve that, we created a software platform that the other problem too is just from a pure installation perspective. If you have a 200 unit apartment building, you actually have to install 200 small solar systems. So each one is
Right. It's not like
interconnected.
a giant, like you
No.
picture a giant building where it's got a big flat roof. Yeah.
No, I mean,
Not
it
the
could
same.
look like that, but behind the scenes, it's actually a bunch of small systems, each one interconnected to an individual
Right.
apartment unit. And so if you want to measure how much electricity is going into each apartment unit, you need software to automate that so that you
Right.
can bill tenants for how much electricity they've used. And that software did not exist. So we had to figure out how to build that software so that we could install solar in that manner so that owners could monetize the upfront capex that they had to spend to install solar.
How motivated are these owners to, like you said, it's like if it's going to cost me more money and not make sense, I'm not even interested. But are- how are those conversations going? And is there a big pool of people who are ready to jump on board?
Yes, but it depends. The multifamily industry is sort of split between two different types of customers. You have sort of your like smaller, they're called syndicators. They're like groups of people that are raising money from individual investors. That type of customer, most of them are kind of cash strapped. So the idea, even if the returns on solar are really good, the idea for those people to raise an additional $1 million to install solar is sort of too much for them to take on. But then you have the institutional groups that are backed by massive private equity groups, and we've seen two things happen there. One, despite the current political landscape, like the desire to decarbonize is still very much a thing. So that's good news. The second thing is our projects are very accretive to the overall returns of the real estate deal. So if you can show a solar project in a manner that it actually increases project level returns to these private equity groups, we have really meaningful and positive conversations with some of the bigger institutional owners.
Yeah. This may be a terrible analogy, and you can laugh at me at it is as it like it is, but it's like a solar installation is something that even without, providing cheaper power, it makes the complex seem more up to date and upgraded and modern and probably worth more. So you have that. Is that accurate? It's like putting a pool in your backyard. Like suddenly your property value went up.
Yeah, I think the multifamily industry is so driven by numbers. Like a lot of people do the lipstick on a pig approach. We'll
Sure.
paint the outside even though the inside's terrible. We'll, paint the inside for a third time even though we're not replacing like very important electrical infrastructure or like plumbing infrastructure. That sort of works, but the savvy real estate owners and operators are looking at numbers. And if you can't show them that a certain investment increases net operating income, you tend to lose their attention. So
that's too soft of a metric.
yeah,
That makes sense.
yeah. I mean, we're like super analytical and numbers driven because
Yeah.
the industry is, and we have to be.
Because you have to be. Yeah, that makes sense. The lipstick on a pig. I laugh. I rented for a lot of years, so I'm like, been there, done that.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah. So, where are you guys? I mean, still on the books, you would be considered a pretty new company. So where are you in terms of client acquisition and growth goals and all that?
Yeah, it's been a crazy journey. We developed our software in 2023. We got our first customer in 2024. We're gonna do, I think, between 5 and 6 million in revenue this year, and we have like somewhere between 15 and 30 on the books for next year. So I think what we've built is working. Like I think it's resonating with the industry. We're gonna have some growth, some growing pains that a lot of organizations have, but I think the exciting part to me is like the message is resonating with the people that we want it to. So that's a really exciting part.
I mean, that's the ding, ding, ding moment. Like, hey, this is what they wanted. What we have is working. People are happy with the solution. We're starting to get some referrals and testimonials and case studies and all that. So that's great. So what do you see as maybe the biggest challenge of the moment?
I I don't want to get political, but like a lot of people hear headlines and they don't necessarily think past the headlines. Like I'll talk to random people, the guy building my house, for example, and he's like, "Oh, like how's your solar business going to do now that the tax credits are gone?" And I'm like, actually, it's going to do really well because Trump basically just annihilated the energy industry and electricity prices are going to soar. So like, I'm pretty excited about the loss of the tax credits.
Yeah.
So it's education. I think like it's educating multifamily owners what's possible. It's educating multifamily owners that, the disappearance of tax credits doesn't necessarily mean the disappearance of an industry.
Right.
I think people have to sort of broaden their view and what they're reading and what they're learning about, because one thing doesn't, it's not a direct cause and effect relationship.
Correlation, causation.
There's a lot of other variables.
Agreed. I think it's just interesting. I mean, this whole year, I feel like I have been reminding myself to like pause for a beat before I have a major reaction to any piece of information. It's like if we could all get like, okay, well, we'll see. Or like if this is going to happen, what's my plan A, B, and C according to reality, instead of just, well, I guess the industry's dead,
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's so much smoke and mirrors with this administration that, we remain optimistic. Like, I think there's going to be a massive boom for the renewable energy. I think industry, I think there's going to be a lot of, I think next year is going to be kind of turbulent. I think you might see a lot of companies going out of business, unfortunately. But I think like the broader picture is a good one for this industry.
I agree. And like, I got into this whole thing as a marketer, and some people are like, you nuts, you went into sustainability in 2024. But it's like, this is not going anywhere. Like the over the long haul, those demands are only going to increase. And this is the better option and the cheapest form of power. Like it's it's only going to increase as long as the ball's already rolling.
We need all sources of energy if we're going to have any shot at like being part of this AI race.
Yeah.
So like everything's on the table.
Yeah. Agreed. Well, so, I mean, boom for right now, and then next year might be kind of turbulent. Do you have any like long range, maybe like 5-year goals of where you hope to be, or maybe different segment? Like, do you ever see yourself branching into different segments, or just kind of like honing in on this one just because there's such a massive need there?
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. I was just on the phone with a banker this morning, talking about like opportunities and just some things that we're working on. Our serviceable market, I think, is 4.1 million apartment units.
Yeah.
If we were to install solar on 100,000 apartment units, that'd be like $600 million in revenue. So it's really easy to want to go into sort of adjacent opportunities because it kind of makes sense. But the opportunity is so enormous for what we're doing that there is no need to get out of our lane. Like we turn down work. Someone says, "Hey, I've got a shopping center, or I've got an office park, or I've got all these, I've got like a flex industrial space. Can you put solar on it?" And we're like, no. I mean, we're literally turning down work because we're laser focused on the multifamily industry. And I think that's our superpower, is we can talk to multifamily executives because we're so laser focused on that industry. So that could change, right? Anything's possible, but for the foreseeable future, I don't really see a need.
Well, I think that's smart. And I think that's a lot of the mistakes that I see in businesses is they get like the shiny object syndrome, where it's like, ooh, that we had this, like this TAM is similar to the other one, so let's split our resources and go after both. But it, like, especially with such a large addressable market, and the impact that you're able to make, like, I wonder how much emissions you're offsetting by one apartment building. Like, it's probably pretty significant.
I can tell you.
Tell me. I want to know that number.
On average, we're doing about 2.5 kilowatts per apartment unit. So that's about 3,500 kilowatt hours per year per apartment unit. So it's roughly, I mean, to put that into perspective, it's about half of the energy consumption an average U.S. home uses is our equivalence per apartment unit.
Per unit?
Unit.
Oh, wow. Okay, that is, I thought you meant like for the whole place. And I'm like, well, that's not very impressive.
No, I mean, our like average installation is called 500 kW, half a megawatt. So that's roughly equivalent to 100 homes worth of solar.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I mean, that's what got me into this whole opportunity is like, yeah, residential solar is cool, but it's not mature, but it's more mature. Like there's competition there. There's people that have been doing it for a long time.
Yeah.
The impact per house is really small. The impact per apartment building is massive.
Well, and like think of all the just all the big cities. Like it's like a limitless supply almost, because that's how people live.
I mean, sometimes it's like, we see like quasi competitors popping up and we're like, oh, we gotta squash these guys. And then I'm like, actually,
there's plenty of business for all of us.
There's no way that we could go after the whole market. Like, it's just too big. We need a lot more shines around kind of helping the whole industry out. So, but it's hard to have that perspective too, because, as a competitive person and a business owner, like you want to be the leader in the space, you want to win. So it's hard to encourage competition, but the reality is like we have no shot at putting a dent in multifamily emissions alone.
So I'm like, I wonder, is there an opportunity for collaboration there? It's like, how do you just kind of everyone do their own thing, like hoping that your solution's the best one? But
yeah, it's an interesting one because we deliberately don't charge for our software because we're the solar contractor, so we don't have to, right? And the multifamily industry is definitely facing SaaS fatigue. Like there's so many prop tech companies that are charging $2 per unit, $5 per unit, $8 per unit. And multifamily owners and operators are just like sick of it. They're like, get me out of these SaaS contracts. So we decided not to charge for software. We make enough money out of our installation that we don't need to. And that gives us a competitive advantage. That's a big perk. Yeah, it gives us a huge competitive advantage. So some of our installation competitors will ask us to white label our software to them. Mm-hmm. But if we did that, we would probably have to charge for our software. So now we're like being hypocritical. Yeah. So we've got to work through that. We don't quite have a good approach for that yet. So it's hard to have partnerships and keep our value prop kind of the same to the end user. Yeah. Because if we white label, we're just going to have to charge them for software, which is what we're trying to like upend that pattern.
You're trying to incentivize for not doing that.
Yeah, exactly.
That makes sense. Well, that's interesting. Anyway, yeah. Scratch it. That was a really dumb response to what you said, but
it's hard. It's like we want
carry
to,
on.
But yeah. Next question.
Nope. No, I mean, but I think it comes back to the value proposition, though. I mean, that's the thing that keeps your business alive, and you built that around knowing what drives your market crazy and what they don't want. So it's like you're giving the customer is what the business is about at the end of the day, and if you're making your customers happy and doing it in a way that other people are not, keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah, I think our competitive advantage is we understand multifamily better than any other solar company out there.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that'll be our soundbite for the episode. The end.
Done. All right, let's go. Good talking.
Well, enjoy your day. Hey, I think we are almost done. You're just a concise person to talk to, and I think I'm just asking dumb questions today. So
wow, there's no such thing as a dumb question.
Well, some questions are better than others, but
anyway. Yeah, I mean it's a weird, we're in a weird niche industry where it's like it's solar for multifamily. It's like so narrow that I don't know. It's hard. Like it's a hard. It can be a hard topic to discuss because it's very narrow.
Yeah. Okay. I have a question that may be good. Is there? The setup was bad, even if the question's good. So, does it matter to you what the experience of the tenant is, or is it really only the property owners that you're dealing with? Like, is there any education or stuff like that involved with tenants?
So this seems to be changing. Well, so to me, I think there's like a right way to do this and a wrong way to do this. And I think the right way is to, at a minimum, ensure that tenants are getting savings out of these projects. A couple of years ago, I would have said that owners do not care at all about tenant experience, but I see a shift happening. Like I see it at conferences. I see people talking about it more. So like we're ready. We've got a whole vision for what this could be from a tenant perspective. Like you could scan a QR code in your unit. It could bring up your usage and your electric usage compared to your neighbors, compared to other people at other properties, and kind of gamify it. It could show your solar production compared to your neighbors. Like there's a lot of cool things that you can do with the data, but we're not going to build any of that out until we have a customer that actually wants it. And right now, nobody's asked for it. So we have that sort of in our back pocket, but we need an engaged customer to go on that journey with us.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's funny. Like property owners don't care about tenant experience at all. Like seems, I don't know. It's like they need somewhere to live. Here you are. Like
I know, but that's I think it. The reality
that's
is
so weird.
There's such a shortage of
the housing shortage
in the U.S. that like they don't need to care.
I don't love that.
No, I don't either, and I don't think anyone should. But you like, I talk to people all the time that are like, we need more affordable housing. And I lived in San Diego for a while, and they're like, I hate seeing all this building going on. You can't have it both ways. You have to be okay with the development if you want more affordable housing. But so many people want one outcome, but they don't want how you get there. And so, that's not specific to San Diego. Like that NIMBYism
Yeah.
happens everywhere.
Yeah, that's definitely true. I mean, I hear the same thing in my own neighborhood here in Sandy.
Yeah,
It's like,
Salt Lake, it's a huge problem. Everything's so expensive here, but nobody
yeah,
wants
it's
to
like
see
I
the
can't
open
even really
space.
afford to live here. Like if I had to move, I have to move real far, because we got in at a good time, but
Yeah. It's a tough problem to solve.
it is. Well, I mean, I think as one who rented for a long time, I was, and I'm one of those weird people who did care, like, why don't we have recycling? Why don't we have solar? Like, and the person in the rental unit is not the one making the difference. So it's really cool to hear these solutions making financial sense for these property managers and owners and everything. So it makes me sleep a little better at night knowing you're doing what you're doing.
I'm glad I could help.
All right. Well, next time we'll do this in person, and good luck unpacking your house. And thanks for joining me today.
Yeah, sounds good. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, my pleasure. What a conversation, and such a powerful example of focus, grit, and vision. Owen and his team at Shine are proving that when you narrow in on a real-world sustainability challenge, like the multifamily housing sector, you can create scalable solutions that change the economics of clean energy adoption. If you want to learn more about Shine or explore partnering on multifamily solar projects, head to their website and connect with Owen. As always, thank you for listening to Green Disruptors, the show highlighting leaders building what a cleaner and more resilient future looks like. If you enjoyed this episode, share it, leave a review, and keep the conversation going. Until next time, keep pushing sustainability forward.